Okay, we are now live. So, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. This has been here at That Cologne Guy, and on to attempt number 3, and we are in StreamYard now, and I am going to go over and see. It just keeps saying up and coming for the live stream on YouTube. So we're not sure exactly who's going to see this, but that is it. Just keeps saying up and coming for the live stream on YouTube. So we're not sure exactly who's going to see this, but that. Do you have an echo?
Yeah, I just turned it off. My bad.
Oh, no problem at all. So this is Dr. Goo. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, Saturday, Sunday. So
exactly. Now, is this so? Do you say is it so? Pronounce the name of your channel for us.
It's called Loc'd Sense.
Okay, Loc'd Sense. And when did you start doing reviews?
January of this year.
January of this year. Okay, and you're in Vegas, right?
Yep, Las Vegas, Nevada.
All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm in Illinois, so. So Dr. Goo reached out and a while back actually and said that we should do this, and so we decided to try this format out. And so please be patient with us with regard to our pilot episode, if you will, on StreamYard. We had some hiccups along the way, but that just makes it more fun. So I don't know if we'll have people commenting, but either way, hopefully I'll be able to take this later and make it part of connected to the channel on YouTube. And if not, we will have another. Something tells me this won't be the last chat we ever have. So yeah, I started in 2017, but I really got going in 19. What I started to do was I threw a few out, just to kind of. So it started off where my daughter had a channel, right? And so she and I would do episodes together, and there was no format. There was no time frame. It'd be like once a month or once every 2 months. It was kind of whenever the mood striked, right? And then I would do one at the same time she did, and then she kind of got tired of it. I mean, it wasn't really her thing so much, so she stopped. So then I started doing one episode, and because I'm busy with like a pretty busy schedule, I decided just to film whenever I could, and then I put them out on Friday. Oh, okay. So that's why I started to do the Friday thing. But I know you do it the right way, which is what, like every other, don't you? You put out short videos quite often.
I try. You know what? When I first started, I was like, man, I gotta get content out. But honestly, I try to do it at least, Saturday, Sunday, once a week at least. Just because I'm sure you understand. It's a lot of work.
Well, until recently, actually, I used to do 4 episodes, 4 versions for every episode. I think, but around the time you came and started watching the episodes, I think I had stopped already. But I used to do a long one, the one the one I like to do, just no holds barred, and then I did a 4-minute one take, and then I did one in Spanish and one in Portuguese. So I enjoyed that, but I didn't really get much. I get more feedback in Spanish actually, but I didn't get too much in Portuguese. So I let those go. And then I ended up letting the 4-hour, done in one shot thing go. And now I just sit down and do my thing and then edit. But like you said, after you're done, then you have to edit and then you have to add stuff, and it takes quite a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we are good. Look, we have our first person here, and that is Brian. Brian is, in fact, let's just go ahead and say that. I'm glad it's working, actually. So Brian is a subscriber who has sent me multiple bottles of fragrance to review. In fact, I'm going to review one either sometime in July. Another one he sent. What is your scent of the day, by the way?
Oh, my scent of the day is Moaj Beach Hut Man.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I think I got the right here. So
damn. Yeah. Okay, you are not messing around then.
I love this fragrance, man.
Oh man, me too. That thing is so addicting. I love that one a lot, actually. The only thing I didn't care for was like the name itself is kind of odd, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't really remind me of a beach, does
It
it?
doesn't really remind me of a beach. Other than that, though, that's all I could really come up with. I mean, that is a great fragrance. I just got this in the mail, actually. I don't know if you've ever had this one. It's from the 90s, but I finally got it, which was a Gerius Rouge.
I've never heard of it
Oh,
before.
it's really good. It's by Givenchy, and it's by Annick Menardo, who's one of my favorite parfumers. And I mean, it's a little dated. It's a little dated, but I will say I'm so glad that I finally got it because it's a really good designer fragrance. In fact, this one almost has kind of a niche feel to it,
You
actually.
feel through it?
Yeah, yeah. It's got cactus. It's got it's a real unique one. So I just got that in the mail, and I'm enjoying that today. So Gerius Rouge by Givenchy. So we've got one designer and one niche. That's awesome, and I'm happy here. And then Brian chimed in, and he's saying I'm wearing one man show 3 days in a row. So that's the one he sent me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So he sent me that one, and he wants me to review it. And like I said, I will pretty soon. That one is a Shipra, and that one is one of those early 80s, like late 70s powerhouses. So tell me a little bit about your interest with fragrance.
Um, I just I just really like smelling good. I was always, I don't know, how do I say it? I just like smelling things.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it sounds like, if
No,
we're
no,
on
not at all. You
brothers
are
or something. It's like, I like to smell just different, and a lot of guys, at least, because I work with a lot of men. I work in a mechanic shop, so I'm mostly surrounded by men, and they don't really wear fragrance like that. So it's cool to smell different, but not in a bad way. Not smell bad, but smell good.
totally.
Um, Kind of just started in middle school, really. I used to not really like to take baths and showers. I don't know why. Maybe it was just my thing with water, but yeah, I kind of got made fun of a little bit, and I was like, hey, like after that, I started smelling good.
Oh,
So
that's cool. That's how you
yeah.
stumbled into the world of fragrance, huh?
I didn't really get into it until about a year ago. My girl, she got me this Cologne Sampler Set from Sephora. They have like this thing for like $60, and you
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of testers.
Yeah.
And you take the tester to the store, and then like you get the full size bottle. So
Yeah.
that's
And
what it started.
don't they give you like a crazy amount of is that the one I'm thinking that doesn't the sampler set come with a lot of them?
Yeah, it comes with like
Tw-
10, I think 10
is it?
samples.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Brian says, can you see you can see the comments, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Brian, what Ben is not telling you is that I'm trying to force him into old school classics. He certainly is. In fact, do you watch Ramsey, Dr. Goo?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so Ramsey used to watch the episodes, and then he started his channel, and he is much more of the old school classic guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that, in fact, I'm going to ask him if he has one man show. I don't know if he does, but we will find out. I bet he does already because he has an immense collection. How big is your collection, or do you want to say?
It's like full size bottles or just like in general.
Full size.
Oh, I gotta say at least probably at least 70. At least.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is impressive. I have been able to survive on this channel primarily because I sample, I review a lot of the samples, right?
Yeah.
I really enjoy the sample sets and something that, and then what I'll do is when I do one house, I will eventually get one out of, whatever I sampled, right?
Mhm.
So like the one I'm going to try to get eventually is a fragrance from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, or MFG, MFK, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's an amazing house. I mean, what I've really learned with my episodes is that for me, it's not so much the novelty or uniqueness of the fragrance as it is just the fact that it lasts a long time and smells really, really nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brian said Ramsey has it. He mentioned it not long ago. Brian, I want to thank you very much for watching this, because I stumbled my way for about 25 minutes to get this all set up, but I'm glad that I did, and I forged ahead. And Dr. Gu was incredibly patient the entire time. So you started doing episodes in January, and then do you have a format? Do you put them out just as the mood strikes, or just?
I just whenever I feel like I want to record a video, I'll record it, and then I'll probably put it. Then I'll normally put it out. I kind of currently I started doing through Keynote, making slides and stuff like that with all the notes, trying to make it look pretty. You know what I mean? Do something a little different. So that takes some time, but whenever I can, record a video, I'll just put it out there. Like we were talking earlier, it just takes a long time to edit and to upload the video. I mean, that takes forever.
It certainly does, especially when they get over 20, 30 minutes. You can actually just, hit upload and then just walk away for a while and do something else and come back to it.
Yeah. I normally just put black screen, you could do look up a video on YouTube, just 10 hours black screen, just put that on, just walk away, So,
do you have a signature scent?
Signature scent,
or you?
Yeah. So it used to be Paco Rabanne's excess. No, it used to be Paco Rabanne's Pure Excess.
Okay.
I used to wear that one exclusively for the longest time. I absolutely love that fragrance, and I still do love it today. It's just
does it have a strawberry? It doesn't have a strawberry note.
No, I think you're thinking about that one is Paco Rabanne's Pure Excess, or that's a Black Excess.
Black Excess. Okay. Because I know that one was a big hit as well. So Pure Excess. Now, do you have a current signature scent, or so how do you put on fragrance each day, in the sense that how do you choose your fragrance?
It's kind of hard, because I think you were talking about this in your one of your previous videos. I think it was either the Father's Day video that you uploaded, or it was either the one after that one. I don't remember, but when you said you wake up, I kind of wake up. I have my fragrances over here in the closet. I kind of just wake up, walk over, and then I just think, which one do I want to wear today?
Wow.
Kind of just like that. I mean, somebody sent me a whole bunch of samples, so I'm I want to wear fragrances that I like to enjoy, but I'm also trying to wear the samples, so it's kind of hard to decide. You know what I mean? So it's
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I totally know what you mean. Like I said, and it was the last episode, and that was when I said that I've had to change, really, because I'm almost always I'm wearing the fragrance I'm going to review for that week. But before, I was exactly like you. I would just, I just look at what I have, and whatever the mood strikes. So that's cool. So do you have? So that's a designer. What is your favorite niche?
Favorite niche. You know what? I have to go with the PDM Oudron.
Okay.
Or niche cologne, because
yes, Parfum de Marly. Yes.
That's my favorite from that house. I'd say my favorite niche house of all time is probably Amouage.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's how I was. My favorite company, my favorite house on the niche side, and really on any side, was Amouage for a long, long time. And what started me into really getting into the niche realm was when I got the sampler set for not the library collection, but just the regular Amouage. I really enjoyed those, and then I got the sampler set for the library collection. And actually, just yesterday, I finally had to move on from those, and it's so hard for me to throw that stuff away or recycle or whatever, right? But I had it for a number of years, and I opened up the box, and even to this day, it just smells so regal, Do you like the direction Amouage is going in, or do you think their best times are behind them?
You know what? I don't know. I think their best times were kind of behind them a little bit. Now I haven't sampled everything from that house, but from so far what I have sampled, those have come out, 3, 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar like the way that they're going now. Just I know like now, at least if we're talking with men's fragrances, I know a lot of them are in the sweeter side. I would kind of like to see a little bit more classic, a little bit more original masculine. Kind of like you were talking about with the powerhouse 80s and 90s style kind of barbershop fougères, or not even, because I'm not really a big fan of the fougères, but just old school masculine, just
Yeah.
beast kind of just in your face. Hey, this is what a man is supposed to kind of smell like. In my mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have you tried Gold yet? I don't. I bet you haven't.
No,
By
no.
Amouage. So that's the bottle I got from Amouage. I finally got one bottle from Amouage after all the sampling, and it was Gold.
Okay.
It's not my favorite is Jubilation 25. That's probably my favorite. Well, it's my favorite niche fragrance of all time. I
Okay.
love Jubilation 25. But I will say that Gold is as a scent fragrance that, well, of course you should sample it first, but I think you would like that one if you like the late 70s or early. I mean, it is unabashedly masculine.
Really?
And lasts forever and a day. So
I think I have a sample of that. I think. Hold on.
Yeah, check it out.
Let me see. So I'm gonna walk over to my closet. I think I have it right here. Maybe not. It was from. I get these names mixed up, but I guess it's from Xerjoff.
Oh,
But it wasn't from M1, so I'm gonna have to
sure.
check that one out.
You should definitely check it out, because I mean it's a love hate, and it's actually, if one of the episodes I want to do is I want to do a top 5 or top 10 like fragrances that I initially didn't like, because very rarely do I change my opinion, right? Usually whenever I smell it, it just, that's the way I go with it. But there have been a few that have changed, probably 4 or 5 over the years, that I smelled it or wore it and then changed my mind. And Gold is one of them, actually,
Okay.
because when I first smelled it, it really has a very kind of, it's got like kind of a cat pee element to it, the castoreum, right? It's an animalic scent, so it was a little off-putting at first, but then once I wore it on my skin and saw that it wasn't linear, I really enjoyed it. Well, in fact, so much that I went out and bought it. But yeah, can you think of a fragrance that happened for you where you didn't like it and then you eventually did?
Let me think here. You know what? I gotta say, it was probably African Leather by Memo.
Okay.
That one has a cat piss smell to
Uh-huh.
it beginning, but as it dries down, it turns into like this really nice cardamom fragrance, a fresh
Okay.
cardamom. And I actually had to wear it twice. But the opening is still like, I wish the opening wasn't. I just wish it didn't smell like that in the opening. But if you let it dry down, I mean, it smells fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of us commute. I mean, I'm okay really with a bad opening, really, because by the time you get around someone else anyway, it's probably going to be gone. So
Yeah.
I can live with that. Yeah, I mean, of course, I always jokingly say, I mean, my signature scent forever and a day was Aqua de Joe Porom. But at this point, really, I almost have like current signatures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one that I'm on now, because I mean, if I only had to choose one all time, I'd have to go that one, of course, just because I mean, I loved it for so long. I mean, I mean, obviously, after sampling so many and reviewing so many, you get a bigger collection, kind of move on from it. But I will say the one I really love now is Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo.
Yeah.
That one is as I like the sweet ones actually. I've noticed that, and I've really realized that's jumped out at me as I do these reviews each week. I tend to like the sweeter ones, and that one is just ridiculously good. I am addicted to that one. There's something in that that has made me.
It's the Momo signature, right? The one in the black bottle.
No, so Signature's a
Oh,
flanker of it.
okay. So you're talking about the original one,
The
right?
original that's like the tiramisu,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Okay.
It's got like the real like a dessert feel to it. Um, and man, that thing lasts a long time. I really enjoy that one. So if I had to say like a current favorite, that would be one for me. Can you? How about let's do the what would be one that is okay? Let's do another one. Let's do one that you like, even though a lot of people in Fragcom probably don't. And
Ooh,
I will start off while you're thinking. My honorable mention will always be Eternity Aqua by Calvin Klein. I know it's not, I know it's not highbrow, and I know it's not, I know it's synthetic, but I just like it. I've always liked it. I just got a backup bottle actually along with this, and I just really appreciate. There's something in that one as well. And then my pick though would be I like Invictus. I mean, I like Invictus.
it's so good.
I got it for my dad. I mean, I, I think it smells fantastic. So
I'd say probably for me, it'd probably be Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Parfum.
mhm.
It's a lot of hate. I don't know why, but it just smells super good. You get like the suntan,
Yep,
sunscreen lotion vibe. You can wear
yep,
it in the winter. You can wear it in the summer. I mean,
yeah.
it's
Like
just good for all occasions.
so,
And
just a couple of weeks ago, I smelled. I asked a guy I asked him, and he was wearing Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Elixir.
okay,
And it's another one. It smells. I agree with you. I like the 1 millions a lot.
yeah, they people say they're played out. Also with Versace Eros, that's another one where like I don't know if it's hated on a lot, but I know people say it's played out, but it just smells really good. It's like a fresh, clean kind of deal
Yeah,
with that apple in there, and you can wear it anytime, anywhere, any season. I feel like, and
yeah,
you won't, I guess, offend anybody, but who cares about that?
yeah. Exactly. I mean, do you go to Fragrantica and do you go to Base Notes?
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
okay.
Well,
Because
mostly for Atlantica.
me too. Actually, I go mostly to Fragrantica, and it's kind of funny because usually somebody will say something like, wear fragrance only for yourself. It's like I feel like saying, guys, we all know that there are two. I mean, I guess three groups of people, right? One is they wear them for others, right? To see compliments from others. Some
Yeah.
people only wear them for themselves and don't care at all. And then other people just like fragrance and wherever the chips, fall. That's kind of where
Mhm.
I'm at. Brian says, "I enjoying listening to y'all's chat. Very interesting. I'm going to try Eternity Aqua. I've heard you mention that a few times before. Okay, so Brian, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Do not purchase that. Wink, wink. And I have a surprise that's really no longer a surprise on the way in the mail soon. So I'll just let the cat out of the bag now. So I'm sending you a little tiny bit of Eternity Aqua to you, Brian, and I hope you appreciate that. And then what would be the opposite? So what would be a fragrance that people love and it just doesn't work for you?
Uh, hmm. You know
Hey,
what? It kind of works for me. It's not like a love, but I don't hate it. I'd probably say Leighton.
yeah,
Probably say,
yeah, that's another Parfum de Marly, right?
hmm
I reviewed, I think two. That was one of them, and I feel like I'm missing some. I'm so glad you said that actually, because I feel like I'm missing something from that house because I haven't really found one yet that has been a home run for me. But I know they are immensely popular. So yeah, great one. And he said, "Gotcha, thanks." So I would say either Dior Sauvage
okay.
or Spice Bomb. Spice Bomb just didn't do it for me.
Which
Um,
one? original
The
or
original, yeah, Victor
okay.
and Rolf Spice Bomb. Part of it's I'm not a fan of the bottle. Also is cheesy, but that wouldn't factor into, if it smelled great, I would absolutely wear it, right? Um,
Mhm.
I like Man in Black by Bulgari, and it's compared to Spice Bomb, and I just don't see that they're that close.
They're
But
really not.
I don't think they are, for me. But if someone thought they were, what I would say is I would go, Man in Black, me personally, because that one is another one that's definitely in my top 10 all time favorites. All right, so what was your most recent purchase?
It was a polo green by Ralph Lauren, which is right here, and then Ariana Grande's Cloud.
Oh,
And
no way.
yeah, and I think it was, yeah, and there was another homage I bought. It was Journeyman.
Okay. Oh, Journeyman's good.
Mhm.
Now, so the Ariana Grande Cloud, is the Baccarat Rouge 540 clone, right?
Yep.
That have you worn it yet?
I have worn the Ariana Grande's Cloud. Yes.
So did your house or apartment, whatever, did it just smell all day long?
You know what? This room that I'm in right now, when I sprayed, because I sprayed cologne on in here,
Yeah,
yeah, it did smell really
because
good, really
when my
good.
daughter wears that, right?
Mhm.
And when she'll leave the house, and then if I come back 2, 3, 4 hours later, I don't even have to ask what she's worn that day, because I can tell exactly what it is. That stuff lasts another one
Ever.
forever and a day. Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy because Ariana Grande's Cloud, it's like you were saying, it's a clone of the BR 540, but I feel like Cloud, it's more gourmand, uh, it's more lactatious, I guess. I don't know. It's just kind of what it smells to me. It kind of smells like a churro or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's like dipped in ice cream or something like that.
To me, it's almost like Cloud for me is almost like BR 540 with cotton candy in it.
Hmm.
That's my take anyway. I like both of them a lot. So do you have a lot of niche?
I do actually have quite a few niche.
That's so cool. Do you get them from a certain place, or do you just kind of look for them and get them, wherever you find the best deal?
I mostly get them from there's a website. It's called aurafragrance.com. They have. I'm not sponsored by them or nothing, but I've searched around online. They have the best deals on
Sure.
primarily on all fragrances, but mostly niche because you can buy them as a
Hmm.
test, so you won't get the cap. You know how like you got the Amouage bottle without the cap? Yeah,
Yeah.
so Beach Hut Man and Journeyman that I have, it didn't come with the cap. I don't care, but I got it for like 50% off than what it retails for just off of that. And then
Yeah. So
on
there.
Craig's or not Craigslist, but the eBay's another good one too. You just gotta make sure you're buying from a seller that is here in the U.S. And then also jonesshop.com. That's
Okay.
another one.
Yeah, I thought you might say that one, because that was one that came. I looked at, what was it, Max? Is it Max Aroma? I think it is, .com, and then Max Forti does. He was famous. He is a famous reviewer, but then he opened up his own shop, and so I got one from there actually. I don't have a ton of niche, and I think I'm different actually than a lot of the reviewers, because I've actually tried to keep my collection relatively. Well,
Small.
not tried. I just have no option. um, so it's just going to have to stay that way. But I mean, I really have to sit and think about whether or not I want to get a bottle or not. Have you ever had buyer's remorse?
Yeah, I have. But then I'll normally just end up selling it. You
Okay,
know.
okay. So do you sell it just online?
Yeah, I'll sell on eBay.
Oh, do you? Okay, okay. So that's cool. I will look into that. And maybe I should just be. So, do you blind buy a fair amount?
Yeah, you know what? I try to sample. I try to sample. I'll try to head over to my nearest Macy's or something and like spray it on before I even buy it. But
Yeah, yeah,
if I see the price and if it's such a good price that I know I can get it for like that price right then and there, I'll normally just go ahead and get it. And then if I don't like it, but I'll look up the notes first. So it's not like I'm just gonna buy anything I see. I'm gonna look up the notes.
yeah.
I'll make sure at least like in the realm of what I like, it's gonna kind of suit my whatever I like. So then it's not a total bust. Uh, but yeah, yeah.
Do you have any fragrances out that what would you say is a beast mode fragrance for you?
Red tobacco by
Oh, really?
Montero.
Okay. And
Yeah,
do you like the Manceras?
I love the Manceras.
Me too. Me too. That's what I mean is like I've really noticed that the MFKs, the Montals, the Manceras, that area really works for me, because they're not, well, some of the MFKs are expensive, but I just mean like the Montals and the Manceras are not terribly expensive. They don't break the bank, but man, they last forever and they smell opulent, don't they?
They do. They last forever. They smell absolutely amazing and unique. And you can find them, like you were saying, like 60, 70, $80, maybe 90. But
Yeah.
that's it. You
Yep.
get a full size, 4.0 bottle. And I know the Montals, they come in the little aluminum cans,
Hmm.
little rattle paddle thing on the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you get one of those bottles, it's just like, what did I get? Because it's so light, but it's made out of aluminum. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, no, they aren't they sister companies?
Yeah, yeah, we're almost. Yeah, they are sister companies. So let's see. Montal was Pierre Montal. The parfumé, he started it, and then his daughter started Mancera.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I yeah, unless it's no, that's the way it is because Pierre Montal. So yeah, he started Montal, and then his daughter started Mancera, and they are sister companies. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. I guess they're niche. Yeah, they're niche. Great niche house, affordable niche house.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, see, so here's the thing, right? Do you consider, so when you look at a Dior, an Hermes, a Montal, and a Mancera, something along that lines, do you
mhm.
do you see them as designer or do you see them as niche?
uh, Montal and Mancera, I see as niche. Chanel and everything else, I see as designer because they make bags and
I know
clothes
it.
and stuff like that. So
I
from
know.
my understanding, niches they either only make perfume or they kind of exclusively maybe make some other stuff here and there. But their main thing is perfume. So they put all their effort into what that is. That's why So and normally most of the time they smell super unique. They don't really smell similar to really anything else.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I kind of struggle with because I feel like I should get more niche because of that, right? Because one of the things that I've noticed over the years is I don't know how I feel about the clones and the dupes because like on the one hand, financially, I feel like absolutely go for them,
Mhm.
but then I also feel like, on the other hand, I would like to kind of promote the company that went out there and went on a limb in the first place.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I just wish they weren't, like, do you have any creeds?
I don't own any bottles of any creeds, but I do have some samples of like Green Irish Tweed, the Oud one from Creed, a
Uh,
Royal Oud,
Royal Oud, yeah,
the
yeah.
original Ventus, or the original Santal, which I hated, but
Did you?
yeah, because it smells like Jupe Homme to me, and
Okay.
Mont Blanc's
Individuel.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Which that one was another one that would be, if I did a top 10 addicting fragrances, that would be make my list. I
Oh
I I,
no, really?
I love that one. Oh man, I wore that for a long time. Um, well, do you have any topics you want to bring up?
Uh,
or do you want me to keep going?
hey, you can keep going. I'm bad at coming
Okay.
up with things to.
Well, I'm not, but I'm just not good with technology. But you helped me work through that. I want to say real quick too. I really appreciate you reaching out to meet up today. I was really excited about this, and
Yeah.
I had thought about trying. I needed a kick in the pants when it came to the StreamYard stuff, right? Because I was dragging my heels a little bit, and I probably should have done this a while back, but. I appreciate you reaching out very much. And first and foremost, I know when I make a link for this for the others to see, make sure if you guys are watching this later, always make sure that you subscribe to his channel, and so it's it. You can see here his name, and it's all there. So Dr. Goo at Loc'd Sense, and make sure you subscribe to his channel, and that'll be great. You put out content whenever the mood strikes, you said?
About once a week.
And is it really? I was thinking it was a little bit more, but they're not long. They're not like these monster sessions that I do.
I try to keep them at least 20 minutes or less. Just because I record in 4K and it just if I go over like 20 minutes, it's gonna take 7 hours, 8 hours just to upload to YouTube. Then YouTube's
Sure.
gotta compress it,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I totally understand. The editing when I first started, you're a natural, by the way, in the camera. I mean, when it comes to, I went and checked out your first few episodes, and like your intro to the channel itself is just fantastic. It took me, I would say, till about episode probably 75. It was around the 70s when things, kind of got easier for me. I don't want to look. I would say around 50, 60 is when things got easier.
Okay.
But I definitely had to do a lot of editing because I had a lot of restarts and things like that. Where I would go on one tangent and then just see it. Yeah, and then so at this point I can relatively do it all in one take. I take out maybe a couple things, but what you've seen enough of my episodes, what I like to do is when I feel myself going on a tangent, and I know I am, what I'll do is I'll just take that out later and throw that into the bonus feature because almost every single time I'll usually spend, too much time talking about something that's not relevant, but you know what, that's okay too.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like your own personal, it's the way you want to do the review, so it's like you have your own kind of like input thing, like how your mind works and goes off into these different types of
exactly. So whenever it happens, I as soon as I hit stop as soon as I stop recording, I know exactly the area that I'm gonna remove and make it into the bonus feature, because I'm usually kind of smiling inside as I'm going down that trail, going, yeah, this is not gonna make it in, but that's okay. So the other thing would be, do you do like daytime, nighttime? Do you do fragrances by event, or not at all?
Not really, to be honest with you. I kind of just wear what I want to wear. If I've been thinking about a certain fragrance for like a little bit, and I'm like, I want to revisit this one.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and wear it. Like here in Vegas, right now it's about 100 degrees outside, and I'd go ahead and wear red tobacco, just because if I want to smell like that today, I go ahead and wear it.
Yeah.
But I do kind of separate as far as scents that I'm gonna wear during, like if I'm going to work for 8 hours, there's gonna be select fragrances that I'm gonna wear to work, and then when I get home after I take my shower, then there are certain fragrances that I'm gonna just wear when I go to sleep, because I know that they don't last very long, or they don't project as much. And depending on what kind of event that I'm going to be going to, just depends on kind of the fragrance. I mean, I'm not really that social. So I'm not going out doing this, doing that.
I see.
I just went to the movie theater a couple days yesterday. If you haven't seen the Black Phone, the horror movie, if you're into horror, check it out. It's really cool. But
Is it? No, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Mhm.
So you probably maybe have heard me mention a few times in my episodes, but I'm a horror movie buff. The Black Phone.
It's
Yeah,
it's not
that's
really it's not really horror. It's like a thriller kind of crime drama with
yeah. I'm
images.
gonna go ahead and say I think for the parents out there, if it's the movie I'm thinking of, it's definitely horror. Isn't it the one where the guy has the mask and he like abducts kids and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, no, that is a full-fledged horror film. I watched last night one that started off I thought was gonna be, lame. I thought it was gonna be kind of these, cheap, um, films that have, like, handsome people in them, right, just to use as a stepping stone to get to higher ground, and then it
Mhm.
really, really, heated up. I actually really enjoyed the movie. It is The Possession of Hannah Rose.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, you've seen it as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
about the, 35, 40, 45-minute mark, I'm thinking, I'm not sure about this one. And then boy, did it heat up. I really enjoyed that film a lot, actually. So cool. I didn't know you liked scary movies as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I love horror movies. That's
Good man. See, you see what I mean? I knew this was going to turn out. So we got it done.
Is
Um,
October your favorite month too?
what's that?
Is October your favorite month too?
October is my favorite month when it comes to films, but I do like the heat, right? I like the summer. So I can't say favorite month of all, of them all, but I enjoy that especially because I get to do the countdown to watch, of course, my favorite of all time, which is Halloween, the original, and not the Rob Zombie remake, of course. So
You don't like the Rob Zombie remake?
I do not. I'm sorry. I like him. I've seen him many times in concert, but I don't really care for that one. But to each his own, right?
Yeah.
Do you have? So, how about what is one that doesn't last at all on your skin? I mean, like one. Do you bought a couple where you're just thinking? You know what happened to me? I
Hmm.
bought. I bought. What was it? You're gonna have to help me. It was the Chanel. Uh, it's the one that smells like lemon pie, like the platinum. Oh, extreme.
Is it what?
It's like oh, extreme. It was like Chanel. It's the gray bottle.
Is it the gray long bottle? Is it long or
Longer. Yeah. What was the one they
is
had?
it platinum?
No, it's not platinum egoist. It's the one they had. Like the original did very well for them, and
Mhm.
then the flanker was oh, extreme, and it's a gray one. Allure. There it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chanel Allure Eau Extreme, and
Okay.
it's a gray one. And I bought that one, and I don't know what happened because uh, I even asked people around me. It lasted like 30 minutes, and I was like bathing in it, right? So I
Mhm.
contacted them. They could not have been nicer. I mean, they took back the bottle and they said, we're sorry. Do you want another one? And I was like, nah, I'm good. But I don't know if it was just that particular one that was defective or what, because I seriously got a half hour at the most on it, and I mean I doused myself probably like you do
Yeah.
in fragrance, and so not sure what was going on there. So that would be my response, and then I took the money and got Aqua di Gio Essenza. How about you?
The fragrance that I got, it was Hindu Kush for me.
Really?
When I first got it, and I don't know if it was me going
Whoa!
to it or something like that, but I had to let it sit for like a couple months and then come back to it, maybe let it macerate. I don't know if that's like a true thing or not, but
Sure. No, it is. It is.
after, and maybe it was the season too, because I think when I got that one, I got it in the dead of winter. And so now I'm wearing it in the summertime and it
It,
performs fantastic. It's
it's just
just,
emanating. Yeah. Because
mm,
that one, I enjoyed that review. That was a great fragrance. That was a very enjoyable fragrance indeed. Um, have you ever worn Black Afghano?
I actually have a bottle of it.
No way. Isn't that
Yeah.
is that that's out there, isn't it?
Yeah. I
Um,
love that one. I love it. I love
so
it.
do I. A subscriber reached out and said I really, really needed. And see, here's the thing: when I first heard that it smelled like hashish, I was like, yeah, it's probably not my thing. And she was, she was like, no, it's not what you think though. Go with it. So I got a sample and absolutely loved it. How about Ancanois?
From Woodhouse.
Lalique.
I don't think I've ever tried that
Looks
one.
like Anchor Noir is what it looks like.
Yeah, Encre Noir, the a l'extrême.
Yeah, or no, the original Ancanois, just the original.
No, I've never tried the original one.
Do you have Alex Trem?
Yeah, I have a l'extrême. Yeah.
That one's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it lasts all day long. Perfect.
Yes, it does. So the first one, the original, is really good too. And although I don't know if I want to say the flanker is better, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's good stuff.
Is it as like is it kind of like as dark as a l'extrême, or is it a little bit more lighter?
No, it's darker. So Encre Noir in French means black ink.
Oh, okay.
Right. So Anka is ink, and so it smells exactly like you're in a printing press.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. So à l'extrême with the vetiver is probably better. I mean, in the sense that, I mean, it's a little bit more of a, I don't know if I want to say crowd pleaser, but I actually think it did better than Ancanois probably in sales.
Oh, okay.
I personally like both of them though. I love those things. We have some more comments actually. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. Have you tried the sport one?
No. Have you?
No, I figured maybe you have.
I know, because everyone says so. I'm normally not a fan of the sport ones, which is ironic because I love sports. But people have said like it's really, really good. So I should get that actually. I should because if it's an original that has two flankers and I've got the other flanker, then might as well get right.
Yeah,
the other
they're
one.
like $20 too. Like
exactly. I mean, that's the thing about Natalie Lorson that I love about her work is that so many of her fragrances are relatively inexpensive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Bren chiming in. He says, "I get." Here we go. There you go. I get Zip Longevity from Dior Homme 2020. Never hear anyone say the same problem, just me. So LOL. And so he says, yeah, I get Zip Longevity from Dior Homme. Dior Homme 2020. Okay, have you tried? So you probably have done Dior Homme at some point.
No, I haven't. Not yet. People were telling me, I don't know if it was the Dior Homme just original or if it's the Dior Homme Sport, whichever one, but they said it smells like a rubber band with like a citrusy rubber band with a little bit of sweetness in there. But they also say that it doesn't really last that long either. So
okay, so maybe that's the 2020. Are you big into reformulations? I mean, so here's the deal. In 2000, so it would have been December of 19, I did a giveaway. Right. And I asked to be in the giveaway. I didn't ask. You could say what you liked about the channel, but what I really wanted to know was, what were the things that I could improve on? I really wanted to know that part of it. Right. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that really jumped out was that I wasn't mentioning at the time batch codes. And so that's why I do mention them now if I've got a full bottle. And it's because originally I just wasn't really into all that, but I now I fully understand that I needed to be.
Yeah.
But are you into that kind of like the years and the batch codes? And
to be honest with you, unless I'm going to be buying a vintage bottle of something that I would want to know when it was produced, probably not. And they recycle those. Sometimes they recycle the numbers every like 10 years. So as far as like reformulations go, I'm sure reformulations are there and they're true. Do I think it really affects the fragrance? I mean, it might. I don't really worry about it because I feel like a lot of people who really are they get worked over that, and then what happens is you have a whole bunch of videos that flood YouTube about a particular fragrance that it's about to be reformulated, like the new YSL, not the new YSLY, but I think it was like the YSLY EDT or EDP that had got reformulated or something like that. They had changed the notes in there because either the FDA or whatever, the perfume thing,
I think it was the European Commission.
Yeah, the European Commission said that you can't, they can't use, this fragrance. They have to do it this way now. And people like went crazy, and it just inflated the price of the one that was about to be replaced with the new formulation. It kind of just screws everything over. I do include the batch code just because I know there are some people out there who, they want to check to see, what bottle do I have? But it's like when you go buy a bottle at the store, I've never picked up the box and like looked up the batch code and like, I don't want this 2021. I'm looking for a 2018, because most of the time you might not be able to find that in the store, because depending on how much it sells for, how much it's if it's doing good or not, those bottles could be from 2019, 2020. You just don't know, and they're making 2022 bottles right now, but they have some old 2020 bottles in the store just because. So.
Exactly. Or if they're, facing right in the windowsill or something, you never know where they're going to be coming from. It's hard for me because on the one hand, on the niche, like with Creed, and when they talk about, that they go out and get their fragrances and they get the notes, everything is, how do I want to say this, is fresh ingredients, and they're not synthetic. Mm-hmm. And my point is that I like that notion. The downside for me, though, is that, then you have to get into Aventus, like, don't get this one because there's the pineapple doesn't last. And I don't want to hear that if I'm going to spend $275 or whatever or more for a fragrance, so.
Yeah. And, there's batch code war with Aventus, like you were saying, and like, oh, don't get this batch, don't get this batch. You know what needs to happen? They need to come. They obviously know that Aventus, and this is my problem with Creed, especially with Aventus, is you have so many Aventus clones out there, and I know you were just talking about the clone, and you want to give you want to pay homage to the company that did it first, right? Which is Creed, which I understand, and you know what, I would be inclined to do that. But Creed knows, all right? If Creed is watching this, which they're probably not, but I just want to say this. You guys know, like, the problems with it. It doesn't last that long. Performance and projection is pretty bad. You have all these other clones out here that are really knocking you guys out of the park. If they could just really come up with just one formulation, make it last way longer, because if you're going to be spending, like you were saying, $250, $300, $400, $450, depending wherever you get it from.
Yeah, for Viking's like $420, I think.
It needs to be solid. It needs to be something to where it's not going to change. It all comes down to consistency. They're not consistent with their batches, and so then you have this war online of like, oh, if your batch code has a W on the end, or if your batch code has a
well, and that's why I feel the word I was looking for earlier, by the way, was natural ingredients. Mm-hmm. And so that's the issue, right? Like, if you want something where people are, cutting down lavender in Nice, France, then you'll get that, but then you have to deal with batch codes and years and off batches, et cetera. Whereas, if you have something that is synthetic, like Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo, you never have to worry about that. But you're also not going to get, no one's going to claim, right, that there's real tiramisu in there.
That'd be cool.
We have yet another comment. Hello, gentlemen. Salutations from Miami, from Cuban Groove. How are you doing? And thanks for chiming in. I have to say, I'm really excited about how this has turned out.
Yeah.
This has been an awesome chat. And I didn't know for a while, around 3:15, so about an hour, so about 15 minutes before we started here in this attempt, I kind of thought it's probably going to be me and Dr. Goo, but we got it done. So I'm super excited. Yeah, it's nice to see people chiming in. Awesome, enjoying the conversation. Oh, cool. So am I, and so much so that I can definitely say that I will, without a shadow of a doubt, be doing this format again. I really like that. After so many reviews, I enjoyed. We were talking this before we started recording, but I actually I know. So I started watching a few of the reviewers in back in like 2010 or 11 when it was like, the one fragrance review was kind of the norm, right? So I remember Robes. I don't know if you've ever seen Robes '08 Mark.
Yeah, he took a break. He's
Yeah, he
gone.
did. Yeah. I used to watch him and then Al from Street Sense,
Yeah.
who was my inspiration. He's a Mets fan, but I forgive him. Besides that, uh, so I used to watch those guys, and Mark would have the camera angles and
Yeah.
different cameras, and I was like, what is going on with this thing? And I've enjoyed doing the one fragrance review each Friday thing for quite a while now. I try to throw in some top tens. I know you do. You said in your list you do a little bit about everything on your channel.
Yeah, I try to do lists. To be honest with you, I don't really enjoy doing those list videos just because I can't really go into detail about each fragrance. I might say a couple words about this one and a couple words about that one, but I like to really focus on one thing, and it's hard for me to kind of get a whole bunch because if I'm going to get like a top 5, that could be my top 5 for today or tomorrow.
Yeah. People don't realize the top 20s. I usually do 20s, but the top 10, whatever your lists are, right? They take a lot of work because you have to make the list. And if you're like me and you don't own original bottles, remember when I was telling you when I asked people to give me comments and feedback on how to improve the channel, another thing was if I didn't have the bottle, they wanted to see a picture of it. Yeah. So if I don't have the actual bottle on me, then I put it up in the episode. And so, and then the name, the top 20s take a long time. All right. So we've got some more comments coming. Cuban Groove says, glad to see you live, Ben. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And this is my first time meeting Dr. Goo. So nothing like our first time meet and greet, I don't know, on StreamYard. It has been a smashing success. Have you guys tried anything from the house of, I think it's Frappin? I think it's Frappin. So it looks like Frappin, and you can see that F. I'm sure people probably say Frappin, right? But I think it's Frappin, if I'm not mistaken. Can you help me out, or do you say Frappin?
I say Frappin.
Okay, so let's go with that. Have you guys tried anything from the house of Frappin? Have you? I have not. I'm looking at their bottles. I know what their bottles look like, but I have not tried anything from it. You? No. I'm sorry to say that neither one of us have. Bren says, it's definitely a very interesting chat. Solid questions there, Ben. Hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bren, it's been a while, but I think Bren is in either the UK or Ireland. He'll chime in and let us know, but I think he's over across the pond, as they say. And Brian says, I like the draw collaboration videos. Okay. Oh, cool. All right. And then that's... Oh yeah, the Frag collaboration videos. Sure. Have you ever done a collaboration video? Not like a StreamYard, but the ones like a full-on collab?
I've reached out to a couple people. I'm about to work on a video later today. I'm doing one with it's called Grown Man Style, and he's a fragrance reviewer, and he likes to do lists, and he likes to do fashion style tips and stuff like that. So we're doing a little collaboration video. I reached out to him on Instagram. I also reached out to a couple other people. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but it's cool to do this because we get to talk to other people that enjoy this I guess hobby thing, this nose hobby.
It's definitely a hobby.
It is. It's quite expensive one too.
Exactly. Especially when you start talking about people dropping $200, $300, $400, $100 a month. That's definitely an expensive hobby indeed.
Especially with nowadays in the US, at least, with gas prices rising, food, everything went up like $4.
Yeah.
I put 8 gallons in my car the other day. It was like $60. I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, in fact, I haven't. I'm sure this is the same case for you. I used to. So if I will, a lot of times I'll prepay if I pay, like cash.
Yeah.
And so I'll just go in and give them a certain amount. And I cannot tell you the last time that I actually, heard it clink and actually hit the, F and the full tank mark. It just keeps going, and then I just run out of money. So Bren says that would be the green aisle. Yes, I thought so. And so it's certainly been a while, and I really appreciate you chiming in, because I think it's a little late on his end, but that's awesome. Cuban Groove says, what has been a fragrance that you guys have picked up or sampled lately that has blown your mind or given you a nosegasm? You want to start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So I had never tried the original BR540. So I actually have it here. This is the Extrait de Parfum.
Oh, okay.
And a carded sample, but it really did blow my mind because comparing it to the Alexandria fragrances, the Game Time one where they mixed Creed Aventus with the BR540, it kind of just blew my mind how precise it was.
Yeah.
But the Extrait de Parfum is fantastic. That's one I just got recently. So
this one is awfully close. I'm gonna put Gerius Rouge as my honorable mention. I can't say that it full on completely blew my mind, but I would say very, very close. And it's a fragrance. What I like about it is it exceeds expectations. I remembered it smelled good. I remembered that I always wanted it. I finally got it, and I even like it more, after owning it, right, and wearing it. So that's cool. So that's my honorable mention. I would say Aqua Celestia Forte by MFK. Also by MFK, right? You also mentioned the Baccarat Rouge. So I guess so MFK really took this question, didn't it? I really liked that sample set, and I really liked that one a lot because it did so well. And you know what I like about those fragrances? Sometimes there'll be a fragrance where I reviewed it and I'll think about it, and then I'll look at my notes or I'll look at my ratings, and it'll trigger something, right? Uh-huh. What I like about the creme de la creme, when I have like the certain fragrances that really hit their mark, I don't need notes, right? Because they're transcendent and they take me to a certain place, and that is one of the fragrances that did that for me. I really, in fact, when I reviewed those samples, that's really when I fully understood the kind of fragcom snobs, approach to only niche and looking down at certain designer fragrances. Not that I do, of course, because I don't, but I understood at least what their frame of mind was, right? Because if you're looking at something like that fragrance, and then you go to something like Tommy Hilfiger or something from the 90s, you can see how someone would say that's just extended deodorant or laundry detergent. You know what I mean?
That shower gel kind of.
Exactly. Whereas these things are just a whole different level, and I appreciate that about that. So let's see. Okay, so Cuban Groove says both of those are awesome, and Bren says I always catch your vids, man. Just may not chime in. We'll do more comments in the future for sure. Hey, that's awesome. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. No need. Don't worry about commenting. I'm just glad you're checking out the videos. And let's see. Cuban Groove says I'm a big fan of MFK. Yeah, I think that was when I really realized that it's that I'm more along the lines of the niche and upper designers of the smell nice, last long, like I said earlier, and not so much of the ultra. I'm okay with the fact that MFK it isn't incredibly quote unquote unique smelling. I'm okay with that. I still like, but I love Black Afghano. See what I mean? The fun thing about this hobby is just bouncing around. I just reviewed an Axe a couple weeks ago, for crying out loud.
Yes, Axe Phoenix.
Yeah. I couldn't, and I'm happy to say I don't have too many 1s and 2s out of 5 sprays in my review list. So I'm happy I reviewed it because if I didn't review those, then somebody could say that I'm too much of a softie and just give out. I just dish out 4s and 5s too much.
That
So
was the Phoenix one you did. I mean, I used to wear that in middle school.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was one of my favorite axes.
Exactly. No, I mean, to me, that when I first smelled it, that's what it just hits you like, here I am at the 8th grade formal. So
Yeah. Have you tried Axe Dark Temptation?
yes. So I did a review on that one a while back. It's been about a
Okay.
year and a half, maybe a year. I'm a huge fan of that one.
Yeah, have you
I,
tried Invictus Victory?
no,
Those two smell exactly alike.
do they?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Um, okay. So Cuban Groove would like to know. Well, I think, yeah, okay, here we go. I'm a big fan of MFK, and then he goes on to say, favorite nighttime scent. Okay, so now you go first.
Okay, so I'd probably have to say my favorite nighttime scent, either going to sleep or maybe going out. I say it would be Versace. Gosh,
Is it Dylan
Versace. The not the Dylan Blue, but it's
Parham Blue Arrows?
I have it. Hold on, let me go get it.
Okay, okay. He's going to check it out, and then the next one is Cuban Groove also said. You mentioned Lalique earlier. Please do yourself a favor and try Lalique Hommage Parhomme. Oh, yeah. Okay. In fact, I will do that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw it at a reduced price recently.
So it'd be blue jeans.
It is blue jeans. Okay. All right. For your
Also,
nighttime.
I like this too.
Oh, no way. No
Yeah.
way. Busting out some Aqua Velva. Yes. That is cool. I'm glad to see that. That's awesome. Okay, so I would say, favorite nighttime for me, current nighttime would be, to go back to what I said earlier, would be Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo. And if I were doing the club thing, I would say, I would actually say either Invictus or, the one I like. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say bronze medal would go to the 1 million Parfum, which is either discontinued or really difficult to get in the US. I can't remember, but not the original. I like the original, right? But the Parfum one has a kind of a caramel in it. I love that one. That is a really good one, and that would be my bronze medal currently. Then I'd probably go. I would say Uomo, Salvatore Ferragamo, and then for gold, and then silver might even be along the lines of if I'm clubbing Invictus, actually. So Paco Rabanne apparently for me is the house where if I'm going to go out at night, I'm going to be doing that.
You know what, Paco Rabanne, like that house, everything from that house, it hits every time. It smells great. They last a long time.
They do.
You just can't go wrong with it. It's
exactly, and that's what I mean. I'm glad you bring up a good point. I'm not going to throw a company under the bus just because it's designer and they use synthetic notes, right? Because that is a crucial issue here. Yeah, and I give them a free pass on their cheese ball marketing. I don't really care what their marketing is, other than I will talk about it in the reviews. Yeah, but so if you can look past those issues, I mean, they smell just fantastic. So that's what I would say. Right now, my choice would be my all-time night out would be Thierry Mugler Pure Malt.
You know what? I actually don't like that one.
Really?
I just sold that bottle. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to end broadcast now. I'm kidding. So you sold Pure Malt?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
You like Pure Van more?
I actually don't even like that one either.
Yeah, I didn't. And by the way, I will be sacrilegious here and say what should never have been, said by anyone. I don't like Pure Zest at all. I don't get Pure Zest.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's just not. It just doesn't do it for me at all. But I like Pure Havana, but I loved Pure Malt. So I would say if I'm going out, Pure Malt, Uomo, And then Invictus if it's clubbing.
Yeah.
And then one more I mentioned earlier. Go ahead.
I guess. Well,
Oh,
Baranda's
the 1 million parfum. Excuse me. That was
okay. Oh, the last. See, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I forgot.
no problem. I'm gonna catch up on comments while you're thinking. How's that?
Hey, that's fine. I maybe let's see. I'd say maybe I would choose maybe like Baranda from Nasamato. That's a good
Ooh,
whiskey one.
okay.
Good for night outs. I'd say. Leighton too. That's another one.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard to go wrong, and that's what I mean. Is I feel like with the Parfum de Marly's, I'm missing something, and I wore them. I even sampled them too. But hey, to each his own, right? You mentioned I wanted to read this for you actually, because when you were looking in your closet, Cuban Groove mentioned this, right? Lalique earlier. Please do yourself a favor and try a Lalique homage pour homme. I will make a note of that. In fact, that's how I got Encre Noire à l'extrême. Was a subscriber said, whatever you do, get this right. I've gotten a few actually blind buys strictly from subscriber recommendations, and I've never once been disappointed. No, yeah, exactly. They've all been great, and that was one of them. In fact, that's a really, really good one, as you said earlier. So Anthony Concepcion says, "Scent of the day is Armani." Oh man, whoa, Anthony, you know how to hurt a guy, right? Because I wish my bottle is long gone. Have you ever had? So there's Code Sport, and there's Code Sport Athlete.
I've never tried the Athlete.
Oh man, it's incredible. The mint in that is a wonderful fragrance that they should have easily just made into. It was a limited edition. So check this out. I don't even remember. I got it somewhere where they didn't really know about the exclusivity of it, and I found it for $20 a full bottle.
Really?
Yeah, on eBay it was like $280 at the time. So I grabbed it. I didn't even know what it smelled like. I just said like, okay, I have to get this, right? Then I looked into so it was for the 2012 Olympics, and it's not an Armani Code Sport, it's Armani Code Sport Athlete, and it's very, very exclusive, and so. That is a fantastic choice and perfect for the summer. What a wonderful choice that is. Brian says Aqua Velva is great. You can never go wrong with. I'm super happy to see that in your collection. My favorite nighttime. Cuban Groove says my favorite nighttime is Masque. Is it Masque Milano Mandala or anything sandalwood? Like around, yeah, okay. So this is not for clubbing; it's more like home to relax would be. And I don't know if it's Masque or Masque, Milano Mandala. I will check that out. That's a cool one. One thing I really enjoy is in the episodes is seeing everybody's scent of the day, and then just keep for granted to open and check them out. That's fun. Yeah. Cuban Groove says. Next time for me would be Black Orchid. Ooh, man, absolutely love that one, or something Mancera. In fact, so here's the thing with Black Orchid for me. Have you ever worn that?
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Well, I did not know. I mean, is it for women or is it unisex? I think it says for women, right?
I think it's originally for women, but I think they changed it to unisex.
Did they change it? Because I got it years ago. I got it included in I bought a bottle, right? And then they gave me 2 samples. And so both, I just assumed that they were both for men. And I wore Black Orchid and then looked it up, and I thought it said at the time that it was for women. And I was thinking, wow, this is unisex. I would absolutely wear that fragrance. Love that one. Brian says, Bentley for Men Intense is awesome, and that's another one of the car ones. Yeah, that one is a really, really good fragrance.
They have a Bentley has like a niche side to their. I was watching what's a Fragrance Hunter the other day, and he did like 3 reviews on it's like Bentley Majestic Sandalwood or something like that, but they have like a line where it's like
Yeah.
more niche, I guess, you know what I mean? So they're like
Wow.
$110, $120, but
Yeah.
I'm
Can't be surprised, right?
not.
That they're going to go that route.
Mm.
Because Bentley Intense for Men is probably it's definitely in my top 10 like best quote unquote cheapies out there.
Oh yeah.
I don't even really like that word when I say that, but as Bren has said here, Natalie Lorison really can cook for real. Awesome perfumer. I couldn't agree more. And she is just a fantastic. She did fantastic work with the Bentley. Anthony says, my favorite nighttime scent still this days is okay. So Aqua di Gio Essenza or Armani Code Ultimate. I'm a super fan of discontinued fragrances, brother. So I'm not surprised that he said that, right? Because a lot of us like the discontinued ones when it comes to when you are around a lot of people and want to stand out. I mean, you said it earlier, right? You said you're not around a lot of people that wear fragrance, but if you go somewhere where you are, you never want to be. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Savage. I like it. It's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
everybody has it. Everybody wears it.
Everyone has it. And that's also coming from a total hypocrite who likes Aqua di Gio. Okay, so I mean, I totally hold my hand up on that. So
I feel like Aqua di Gio would be like, that's like that came out before Savage, right?
No, it came out like I just mean that was like the Savage of
Your day, huh?
well, and a lot of days. I mean, it is really an eye roll fragrance for a lot of people because it's like considered like the frat boy clubbing scent. I'm like you. I don't care what the associations are. I like what I like. Cuban Group says Black Orchid is marketed for women. I thought so, but it really should be a unisex in my estimation. In fact, I did put in one of my episodes my top 20 all-time women's fragrances that is listed in there, and I mentioned that is one women's fragrance that I would definitely wear. I mean, I have no qualms at all in saying that. So Earth is a giant grave says, hello, what's the subject amount? So we were just talking fragrance. We're talking 98% fragrance, 2% horror films. And we were going to just be the two of us for a minute there, but I got it all taken care of. Bren says, yeah, the Black Orchid Parfum version was toned down florals for more masculine taste, both awesome. Okay, so I didn't know that. That's cool. I'm glad he mentioned that. So Earth says, okay, perfumes. I get headache for some reason. A lot of people get headaches from perfumes. Do you?
Nah, not really.
I
It
don't.
depends. I got to spray away from my nose,
Okay.
So nothing on the neck, nothing on the chest, on my arms, really back of my neck, my back of my knees. That's it. Or else, I'll get a headache. Yeah, sure.
Okay. What I've noticed is certain ones like Calvin Klein, Eternity, not Eternity Aqua though, Eternity, some of the ones that give people headaches or headache inducing tend to be designer with synthetics, right? Synthetic notes. So, Earth is a giant grave. You might want to consider, maybe something like the natural ingredients. The problem is though, welcome to getting a second job where you are an Uber driver or something, because you're looking about $250 to $400 a bottle to do that. I get headache from perfumes for some reason. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And I think it is. I think it's just the highly synthetic ones do that for some people. That's in fact, what is it? Not Bath and Body Works, the Body Shop. So here's what I would say to that. If you look at the Body Shop, they have very inexpensive fragrances that, number one, don't test on animals, which I think is cool. And they also use relatively natural ingredients. I don't think it's all, but I think it's, more natural. And those are like $25 to $40. Those are really good. In fact, one I like a lot is White Musk Sport. I love that. In fact, I sent Brian a bottle of that one. That is a really nice one and something that you might want to consider. Might just be certain notes too. Okay, Cuban Groove says my favorite pickup this year has been what is B683?
I have no idea what that is.
I'm not. I'm okay. So Cuban Groove, help us out here. Oh, it might be an Atelier. Cuban Groove, help us out on that one on B683 because I'm not going to pretend to know that one, and I can't look it up on Fragranti on the fly. And so Mask, Mandala, and Tango. Okay, yeah, Tango's a very very good one. So Cuban Groove also says Atelier Cologne is great for people. Yeah, that's true because they use more naturals and they use essential oils, right? So Atelier fragrances. I reviewed 8 or 9, and I still have another around that same number to go in my sample list that I'll be reviewing in the second half of this year. I agree with Cuban Groove. You can't really, if you have headache issues, I don't know how you could with the Ateliers. The problem with the Atelier is that the issue is that they're like $250 and then they last. For me, I just couldn't get any longevity out of them.
Yeah, because they're mainly, with the non-synthetic notes, they're the natural notes. They're gonna not last as long, obviously, because they're not synthetic. But
yeah, and so that's the issue, right? It's a challenge because what we would love to here's the home run, right? The home run would be to have a natural fragrance, lasts all day, doesn't test on animals, inexpensive.
Yep.
And garners compliments, okay, or that you like, right? So that would be kind of the 5 points to success, I guess.
One day, hopefully,
Yeah, there's got to be a. I will say, Jubilation 25. Some of the older Amouages are just about as what I would point to as like a perfect fragrance. Of course, there is no perfect one, but I just mean, man, some of those are just really regal and opulent, and I love that about the older ones. With what was it, Christopher Chong, I think was his name. He was in charge of the company for many years, and then recently stepped down. I think 2, maybe 3 years ago now. It's been a while, but he had an incredible run with a lot of the Amouages during their heyday. And I will check out that link that you mentioned earlier, because if I can get some of the older Amouages for 50%, then I will indeed do that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send you that whenever we finish with this. I'll go ahead and send you all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Your little video description thing, so everyone else can maybe take advantage of that too.
I see. I've got one more update, and then we can wrap up. Cuban Groove says B683 is by the Nose, who created is it Ganymede? Ganymede for the house of Marc Antoine Barrois. B683 has a mineral type smell, but also the most beautiful and eloquent suede leather accord. Oh wow, I'm gonna write that down. That sounds
fire.
How about this? What is your next possible purchase, or something that you're considering?
You know what? I really want to get the Amouage's interlude.
Yeah. Okay. The Blue Beast. Let me tell you, you will not be disappointed on that. You've sampled it, of course.
Yeah.
I friggin' love that thing. It brings so much happiness and joy to us all. Brian says, oh yeah, that's right. Gianfranco Ferre Fougere Italiano is awesome and has longevity, not old school Fougere. It's a modern take, has a musk backbone. That sounds cool too. So this guy was on my list for a very, very, very long time. So that's what I mean is at this point, my next possible actually will be Aqua di Gio Parfum.
Okay.
So I want to check out the new one. I have sampled it, and I know, and I like it. So it's time. It's time.
Is it kind of close to the?
It's closer. It's definitely closer to the original than Profumo, right?
Okay.
Because like with the hey note in Profumo, like what I've noticed is people who don't like the original like Profumo.
Yeah.
And and so yeah, this one is closer to the original than it is Profumo.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Cuban Groove says, okay, yeah, that is another one too. I enjoyed reviewing that one too. Amouage Enclave is an awesome release indeed. That's what I mean is.
That one has like a spearmint kind of nut,
Yes.
like a chocolatey kind of like mint. It's like Christmas time, really, when you're eating those. You ever been to Olive Garden when they give you like those little mints at the end?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like those mints.
Yeah, it really is. That's a great description of that one. That was a fun. In fact, the comment section for that one ended up being more along the lines of the pronunciation, because I say enclave, but I heard, but some people can say enclave. Which one do you say?
Enclave.
Enclave. Yeah, an enclave. I never really heard of that one before. But anyway, okay. So just in interest of time, and I originally had thought we would go till 5. How are you doing? Are you? Are you good? Good. So am I actually. I've got the technological blips all taken care of. So we are going forward with any more comments from people. Let's wind down on those, and then we'll end with a couple things. One thing I'd like you to do real quick before people leave is I'd like you to give a little introduction to your channel.
Oh, me. Okay. So what's up, guys? My name is Dr. Goo, or Loc'd. I just do, cologne pretty much reviews, and it's mainly a channel where I just kind of discover fragrances that I like, and I just like to talk about them. I'm never gonna sell you nothing. I just do it just because I like to do it.
Yeah,
that's really much it. Do different kind of challenges and weekly rotations and first impressions and just things along those lines.
Yeah, I like the on the one hand, as we alluded to earlier, on the one hand, I like to do that, and then on the other hand, I like to look at the nomenclature and the reason behind the inspiration for the fragrance itself. There's a lot to be talked about there. Cuban Groove says, so Bren says, oh, okay, so the wet soil fragrance. I have to tell you, I have. Out of all the fragrances I've ever reviewed, I think I got them. If I were to think of like the top 3 fragrances that garnered like the most passion, one would be Figment Man by Amouage. That I call it the wet soil fragrance. Have you smelled that one? Yeah. It's discontinued, Bren says, and another beast, they say. We shall see. Okay. So it's on the way. So Bren, it is indeed a beast. Yes. I don't, it's not as long as Interlude Man, but then again, nothing is really. So you will definitely get 8+ out of that fragrance, no doubt. Cuban Groove would like to know why Mr. Dr. Goo. No, not Mr. Doctor.
Oh, it's just a childhood nickname. My friends call me that. So there's a backstory to it, but it's kind of long. So yeah, that's just it. I don't know. It's just kind of funny.
It is. Well, it's cool too, because when you're thinking of fragrances and starting a channel, it sounds funny if you haven't started one, but the first thing is, do you use your real name or not? Right.
Yeah.
And so you don't say Darius, you say Dr. Goo.
Yeah. Now I could just say Darius because that's my real name, but I kind of wanted at first I wanted to be like, because privacy is like my thing. So I didn't want anybody to know my name. But then like I was using Dr. Goo because that's what people call me anyway. So I'm like, well, they're kind of using my real name anyway, if they know me watching this channel. But for everybody who doesn't, I don't know. So now I'm at the point where like I want to use my real name, but I've been using Dr. Goo for so long. You know what I mean? So
yeah, just go with it. Well, thank God you just said that, because otherwise I'd have to edit that part out, right? Because I'm the one who said that. Yeah. Julio. Okay, first of all, let me say thanks to Julio because Julio, I apologize. Just to give you guys a quick backstory, we were supposed to start at 3. And we had some technological problems that we got taken care of as our first time pilot live stream. And then so Julio put a comment right when I first started at 3, and it said, "Can't wait." And so I am so happy that he made it on, and I appreciate your patience on that, Julio. And that means a lot to me. Julio says, Sunshine Man is a stunner for Memoage. Yeah, Sunshine Man is indeed a really good one. What was the one was it Sunshine that came out about the same time as Beach Hut?
I think Sunshine came out before Beach Hut.
Okay, so Beach Hut. Yeah, Beach Hut was the one that I mentioned in my episode that I wore it to the dentist, and I barely put any. I mean, because I was gonna go to a small room, right? And Samwaj, I'm thinking, okay, 1 or 2. I didn't want to, and I had 2 hygienists come up to me, not 1 but 2 come up and just straight on said, I need to know the name of that fragrance for my fiance. One was fiance, one was husband, I think. But either way, for my partner, and that is, I can probably name 3 fragrances where they didn't even compliment. They just said, "What is that?" And that was one of them.
I find it close to Sunshine Man is very similar to Beach Hut.
Yeah, me too.
Just
me too. Brian says, I've really enjoyed this chat. Good to meet you, Dr. Goo.
Hey, nice to meet you too, Brian.
Yeah, Brian shows up every single week, and so does Julio. And I really appreciate all the. I'm sincerely touched by the many people dropping in. Brent says, "Cheers, Ben. You have a good one." And we will talk Irish rugby another day because he's probably taken off. Cuban says, Goo is good. Indeed, he is. And so, I mean, imagine for your first time meeting somebody, you do it over StreamYard on a recording. So I really appreciate you putting yourself out on a limb for that. And yeah, you guys make sure you subscribe to his channel. As you can tell, this guy is #1 as a natural, and he's also great at reviews. I've been watching his channel for a while now, and I really enjoy the format. Cuban Groove says, Doc, what would your all-time what would be your all-time go-to fragrance? Damn.
All-time, just anytime.
If you had, like, I mean, over the years, though, I think it's like
years. Really, honestly, it's gonna sound just generic, but really, it's got to be Versace Eros. Just the EDT, probably my all-to just dumb reach. I don't have to worry about nothing. I know it's gonna last a while. Versace Eros. If I had to choose like a niche one, I'd have to say Beach Hut Man. I love Beach Hut Man. I mean, you can really just grab this one and just go. I mean, it's gonna smell amazing.
So. Yeah. I mean, as we said earlier, I for me, just the only knock, it was like the name is quirky and odd. But I mean, when that's the biggest thing you can dock on a fragrance, then you know you're good. Brian says, enjoyed, Ben. Got to go. Take care, my friend. You too, Brian. Thanks for everything. And as I said, in July, you will be receiving a Just Because gift, and which you now know will be Eternity Aqua. And I specifically got a little bottle with an atomizer for you. So you will get that in the mail, my friend. Bren says, yes, solid Julio. So absolutely, this goes back to his comment on Sunshine Man. So that's cool. And then Bren said, look, subs Dr. Goo. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Julio says, I sub to Dr. as well. All right. So there we go. Yeah. They're just chiming in. So Julio says my all-time go-to is Erewhon by Dusita. I knew he was going to say that because I don't know if it's just the house. I don't know if Julio let us know if it's just the house that you like, or if it's excuse me, the other way around, if it's just the fragrance that you like, or if you like many from that house. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think he's got another one, if not more, from that house. So he'll let us know. So Cuban Groove says, how about you, Ben? What is your go-to? So I would say, so my designer go-to of all, but it's my understanding that it's all time, right? I mean, I would say because I've had so many bottles of Aqua di Gio, I would have to say Aqua di Gio Essenza, right? Just to, for the designer. So for my designer would either be Aqua di Gio Essenza, or Parfum, and you could choose whichever one that you like. I'm ironically, I'm not a fan of Profumo, which is like the only one that practically everyone else likes. On the designer side, man, it's hard to mess with Amouage Jubilation 25. For me personally, the way it wears on my skin, that's a good one. And another one too is Opus 6. The library collection by Amouage would be an honorable mention. That is just an outstanding fragrance. And if I'm only looking at two, I would say that if I could only have two on with me, I would go with those. The designer side is so hard, isn't it? Because you have your emotional favorites, but then you wear them so long that you've kind of grown out of them a little bit, right? But so if the question is all time, it's a little trickier, but I'd have to go with those as my mentions. Bren says, got to go with Oud Infini. Got to get 4. Yeah. I only need $400 to get it. Exactly. That's what I mean. Is we should just be all Lyft drivers and as our second job, just to have. I actually don't think I would even want to work in a fragrance place. Yeah, he's shaking his head. I don't know that I would, just because I think I probably wouldn't even get cash. I mean, I wouldn't even get paid. They would just deduct it from my paycheck. Julio says, I only own, okay, it is only the Era one, but I know he really likes that fragrance because on his SOTDs, he's mentioned that one quite a bit. Cuban Groove says, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. God bless you and have a great evening. Same to you. And that is so nice of you guys to show up. In fact, our numbers are actually getting bigger. So little does Dr. Goo, he doesn't know this, but I'm keeping him here till midnight. He just doesn't know that yet. So Goo, you picked up another sub. All right, look at that.
Thank you.
You'll see, because I saw your numbers, you'll see that getting over 100 is really the issue, because then you get your own URL.
Yeah.
So then then you can say follow me at whatever, and then you'll see that your numbers will just continue to go from there. Yeah, and so that's going to be great for you. What was your first episode?
My first episode, I believe it was I think it was Leighton by PDM. I think that was my first ever episode.
I did a pilot of like my top 20 all times. And I just did it, like I said, just to kind of put it out there, just to see, first of all, what it would be like to do one, and then after that, but you, like we were saying earlier, the top 10 lists, they take a lot longer than picking up a bottle and just say, yeah, this is what I think of this or whatever. Because you have to remember the dates. I mean, excuse me, the years, the house, the notes.
The notes, the notes right here.
Busting out the notes can be difficult for a top 20, but it's certainly fun. I must tell you, this has been even better than I was hoping for. And so, do you have any last minute questions or comments or observations to make?
No, just I appreciate being here and being able to speak with you and getting to I mean, I didn't pick your brain a lot today, but I'm not real good with like questions and stuff. But I mean, it was just a pleasure, just to meet you, and we can talk about whatever. It was fragrance, it was horror, it could be other things next time.
Yeah.
One of these, and it was just a pleasure, especially on my end, because I've been watching you even before I even made a channel. And I always liked the way that you did your reviews. Yeah, because I thought it was really interesting. Like, you like to do different languages and stuff too. And so I was like, oh man, he must be a professor or something, or I don't know. Like I was like, he teaches. I'm sure you're a teacher of some sort. You teach I'm sure you teach in other languages or something, but I was like, wow,
Indeed, I do. And so that was nice of you to say that. I appreciate that. It is so much fun to do that, and I'm happy that you were checking out my channel earlier, and I'm happy to return the favor. And I like your. Now, are you on an iPhone? How do you record?
I use the Sony ZF-1. I'll just show you. It's this camera. It shoots in 4K. I was using my phone, but I was never happy with the quality.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see the screen. So I was like, it was weird because I couldn't see myself. And I just wanted some better quality. That's pretty much it. And I also wanted to see myself. It's point and shoot, so I could bring it anywhere I want to. And works great. But I'm shooting on my MacBook on their webcam thing now. So, yeah.
It's really not that bad, though. I mean, in fact, I had a camera, so I had a special camera for these episodes, and quite frankly, it had too many. It was almost too technical, and it had too many nuances in it. So if I moved or something, or if I pointed over here or whatever, it would get blurry. So I just decided to use the camera from the laptop and just did that, and then I've got the Yeti for the audio I need. That one I need better audio, but the video so much I'm happy with the camera. So, well, this has been great. As you guys know, I put out new content every single Friday. This is going to be if I can link if I can link it successfully. This will be. I clicked on the option supposedly where you can come back and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? This today will be full of surprises. If not, then what I'll do is I'll do something quick for this Friday coming up. But what I'll probably end up doing is like a 1 or 2 minute quick intro if nothing shows up. But I have the link here still. What I'll do is for my Friday episode coming up this week, I'll just say, down in the description box is our chat because we want to make sure we promote your channel. So. Yeah, you betcha. Absolutely. And it's been great talking to you. So stick around. Let's see. Okay. So Julio says, can't wait for Friday, Ben. All right. Thanks again, Julio. And I really appreciate your perseverance because you stayed with us from 3 to 3:30 while we were in our moments of technological chaos. And then Brent says, see y'all later. Peace out. You take care, my friend. And same to you, Julio. Thanks again for coming in. So Dr. Gu, let's do this again. Should we end like Americans and say, let's do brunch sometime, shall we?
Yeah.
So we you know what? We need to get together. We need to talk sometime, right? We need to hang out. We won't say that, we will do it. So I know there'll be a second one. So let me know and stick around after I end the broadcast.
Okay.
It will either be in the green room or we can go to Instagram or something. We'll talk afterwards. So you guys take care of yourselves. Thanks again for coming in. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody.